spent your whole life trying to blow up, but Elohim never had time for donuts. The beat gon' have no time for cold cuts. The game like Big Pitch came to join up. Yeah, I'm still independent. Ain't sold a million records yet. Used to be on my checklist, big.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas and the very wonderful AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Dallas Cowboys. Brett Maher has this one teed up, and we are underway here at AT&T Stadium. DeAndre Carter now from his end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They started on the ground with Eckler. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at 2nd down.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And right away, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Here's Herbert. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a 1st down.
Meanwhile, Herbert's throw there complete to Allen. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. 23 yards on the play.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 down at the 31. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Again, Herbert. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Herbert able to show his wheels as he gets the 1st.
Give him a little extra credit there. His head was cool as the play broke down. Didn't force a throw, and in the end, got to show off his athleticism with a nice gain to bring up a new set of downs.
Herbert operating from the red zone. Working the middle here. That's complete to Everett, the tight end. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. A nice gain there to his trusty tight end, and now it's got them thinking opening drive touchdown here as they get into the red zone.
And in most cases with your tight end, you feel like you've got a mismatch no matter who's covering him. Is it a small cornerback? Is it a linebacker who may not run as well? In any event, whatever you see, you think that tight end can win that battle.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler, and he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Let's go now.
They'll run for it with Eckler. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Once more, here's Eckler. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
2nd down and goal. Herbert. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. Trey McKinney, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Chargers will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Quite the drive there to get things started. They took up the bulk of the first quarter, and they end up in the end zone.
And I love your last point. Ended up in the end zone. Because a lot of teams like those long drives, especially to keep their offense off the field, right? Keep the ball away from them. But they finished it with a touchdown. That's the exclamation point. Now, flip it over defensively. They've got to slow that down somehow, right? Maybe they need to be a little more aggressive. Maybe a few more pressures towards the quarterback.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. So the drive's going to start with Pollard, and he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott.
Swinging this out for Pollard.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
And he is going to have the Cowboys' first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
Prescott to throw this time. A dump off to Elliott. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 8 there on the play, and it'll be 2nd and a couple. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Going to take a shot for Gallup. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he's got some space here.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Here's Pollard again. And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Now Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
There is something to a game plan when trying to keep a defense honest. And with a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Picked off by Nasir Adderley.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
From the 29, Herbert. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's got his big tight end here.
And he is going to have the Chargers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. 1st down, and they stick with Eckler. And he's got room. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. On 1st down, Justin Herbert. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted.
Picked off by Anthony Brown. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this 1st half, because that's simply not true. But you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
And now Prescott is going to be taken down. He couldn't get away, and that's a safety.
I have to think the sooner halftime can get here for them, the better, because that 1st half has been rough. And that safety, it only adds to their issues. The other sideline, though, I think they're fine if we just skip the break and keep playing.
That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the third quarter. Taken from about the 12. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Cowboys make over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
On third down, it's Pollard. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down. On the sneak, it's Prescott. And he'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Prescott. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years, and the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now Prescott. He'll get this to Elliott. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense, because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Prescott able to get down there at the end on the slide, and he has the first as well. They run straight ahead here with Pollard, and he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Throwing, Prescott being chased out left. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dak Prescott, a 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Cowboys are back within a score.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And the lead is down to 2. Following the touchdown, here's Moore to kick it away.
From his end zone, here comes Carter. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Charger drive about to get going. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
On 2nd and 9. Herbert.
This is swung out to Eckler.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job is simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Chargers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw here, Herbert. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only 1st down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play, and he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Herbert. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. Critical play in this football game is if they pick up the 1st there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
31 yards on the punt there. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And you sense the tide turning. They scored, then their defense forced the punt, and now a chance to ultimately take the lead here late. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Again, it's Elliott. And he'll work this one up to about the 38.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the 1st down. Close it out.
Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Mike McCarthy took the gamble, didn't pay off. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. On 1st and 10, Herbert. And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, They have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Eckler now between the tackles. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 58 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
On third down, here's Eckler. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to fourth down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Herbert going to keep it on the sneak. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on fourth. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Up the middle with Eckler. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. With the late lead, Herbert's going to throw it. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
And that was a beautiful ball right there as he waited for his tight end to come uncovered in the end zone, so give him points for patience as well. Delivered it right where it needed to be for 6 points.
Extra point up and through. And it might seal the deal as that makes it a 2-score game here with not a lot of time remaining. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. A fairly short kick from the 14. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Fourth down, Prescott. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. He's got a man, complete. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with the clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Oh, the Cowboys recovered it. Yes, Cowboy football. The field goal will do it for them. They got the onside kick that they needed here. We'll see if they can do the rest.
Some teams are just not comfortable waiting to see what happens. Some teams like to force the action. That's exactly what we saw with this onside kick.
Now Prescott. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? You got to catch in that spot.
He's going to let it fly. Oh, he forces one there. It's a potential dagger as it's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
Does he have the distance? He does! It's good! My goodness, he hits it from the parking lot as time expires. And it'll be a good time in Big D tonight. The Cowboys have won it. What a ball game this was. What an atmosphere this was. And the home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building can file away with smiles on their faces.
And what do real estate people tell us all the time? It's location, location, location. So being at home, that can be a big deal because remember, they were down to their final chance to retake the lead. That home field advantage, I think it helped fuel all of what happened for them down the stretch. A huge win.